Hey, this is Dr. Infinity. Welcome to White Pill Media, and this week I'm going to be talking about the Friends of Eddie Coyle.
Yes, you know what it is, don't you, boy? Shall I tell you? It's the least I can do.
This is a very high recommendation from me. This is a really good crime movie. It's based on this book, and it stars a few people that I know. I think most people probably know Peter Boyle. I only really knew him when I was younger as, from Everyone Loves Raymond, but recently, then I saw like Taxi Driver when I was older, and then more recently I've seen Hardcore, which is another really good kind of gritty crime movie with George C. Scott. That's also a big recommendation, but he's in it. He's great. There's also Robert Mitchum. Apparently, he's like a pretty big guy. I don't really know him. If he just showed me like some of his more famous roles, I would probably place him. Anyways, basic premise without getting into spoilers. Eddie Coyle is this small-time criminal in Boston, and he has a lot of connections with a lot of other criminals in Boston, and he's looking at going away to do some time, about 3 to 5 years, and everyone's just trying to use everyone to get by. You know what I mean? It's a really ugly, just kind of melancholic and just sad world where it's not like brutal, like everyone's getting killed like on screen like every 2 seconds. There is some like murder and all that, but it's really just like how people just kind of like betray each other, and they do so like casually. Yeah, how people are just expendable. How they can just be crumpled up and thrown away. Just kind of like that. That's just kind of the brutality of it. This is directed by Peter Yates. I watched another one of his movies called Bullet, and that had Steve McQueen in it. I know that's like a more popular movie. I did not really like it. I thought it was okay, but just okay, like not something I would really recommend to people. And it's not like a movie I really want to like see again, or it's not something I want to like buy. But I thought Bullet was okay. I'm gonna get into the Friends of Eddie Coyle. I'm gonna have spoilers and everything. I'd really recommend checking it out if you're interested in that. Just like you want a really just solid kind of, I don't know if gritty's the right word. It's just kind of sad. It's just kind of a sad crime movie. But I like it a lot. Spoilers going ahead. Our movie opens up with this banker's house. We don't really know what's going on. We're just kind of like thrust right in, and we see some people that are taking notes at this man's house, and he works at this bank, and you're like, okay, we're trying to put two and two together. Like, something's going on. Is this the police? Or are these the criminals? They're criminals. We have this really good shot. There's this diner, right? I really like just a lot of the imagery, because this is like in the 70s. It has some character to it, right? I don't know if that sounds stupid, but it has like just some character to it. I like it. I like how it looks. But just like through the window, we just get like this shot of like the saddest dude you've ever seen. He just looks just pathetic and just small, and he's just kind of like whimpering along. And this is our guy. This is Eddie Coyle. He's meeting this gun guy there, and he shows him his knuckles because Eddie Coyle has an extra pair of knuckles. Because, like, apparently, like, back in the day, he screwed up and, like, he's sort of involved with the mob. Well, he's not, like, a part of the mob. He's, like, a little, like, hanger-on. You know what I mean? Like, he's within, like, the network, but he's not, like, a made man. He screwed up on something, and they made him put his hand in a drawer, and then they kicked it closed on him, and they gave him this extra set of knuckles, right? And he says what made it hurt more is knowing what's going to happen to you. It's not personal, but you have to stick your hand in there, and it's going to happen. And I'll talk more about that later on, because it's very good. We get more details about Eddie and his life. He's looking at 3 to 5 years away in prison because he was doing this job for Boyle, and Boyle is played by Peter Boyle. And Peter Boyle works as a bartender at this little like saloon. Really worried about his wife and kids, going on welfare. He's old, he doesn't really have money. We get to see, because we're just kind of thrust right in. Peter Boyle's walking around talking with a guy, and we're like, who the hell is this? This is a ATF agent. This is Agent Foley, and Boyle is a informant. And then, pretty soon after that, we get a scene with Eddie Coyle talking with Foley, and they're both informants, but neither knows that the other one is an informant, right? It's just great stuff like that. And the movie's just like desperate. So while all this is going on, the earlier, like the guys that were checking around or following that banker around, well, they're pulling some daytime bank robberies, which are actually like pretty clever. Like it's a pretty clever idea. But they're doing that in the background, and Eddie is the gun supplier for them. So he's not like involved, but he's making some money, and he has some details about their operation. While other characters are more cagey around Boyle, they don't trust Boyle. They think Boyle's kind of like a rat, so like they're on point. But it's just building up where it's like Eddie is gonna trade away his contact, his gun salesman, after he's gotten all the guns he needs to be good with I think it's Van and Scalise. These are the two main guys behind the bank robberies, so he's looking to trade him in with Foley, and they do so. And yeah, Jackie Brown's just had like a tough time. He has to deal with hippies. He has this really like tense scene where he's trying to sell some guns, and like it looks like it could be bad, because like it's just kind of like a terrible life where you think like, hey, I could get killed tonight. Like it's pretty realistic that these guys might just try to jump me on this deal and just blow my brains out and just take the guns for themselves. And like that's terrible, just awful life. But that's the life we're in. It's a dangerous, like, ugly little world. Eddie thinks that this is going to be able to, like, buy his freedom. This is going to be good enough for Foley, and he's going to be able to walk, right? Or get a reduced sentence, but he really wants to walk. And it's not enough. It's not enough for Foley because nothing is ever going to be enough. Now that he has him, he's never going to let him go. And he's kind of wrestling around with, can I really betray Scalise? Can I betray Van? Can I turn these guys in to wipe away my debt, right? Can I wipe away my debt? And Foley's not, you know what I mean? Like it's very, not maybe passive aggressive is the right word, where it's just, I'm not forcing you to do anything, Eddie, but I can't help you unless you help me, right? That's the type of situation they have. Earlier on, Foley called Eddie a stray dog, and that's perfect. It's a perfect way to describe him. He's just this stray, sad dog. Doesn't have a home. He's got nowhere to go. But he gets around a lot, right? He's kind of the neighborhood dog, and he gets around a lot to all these other little criminals. And by the time that Eddie is willing to deal the robbers away at the end, it's too late. He's missed out. He is completely missed out on it, and he has nothing to trade now. He has nothing to trade, so he has to trade something else. But like the worst part is that this person is only known as the man, quote unquote, but this is just the mafia, right? The mafia thinks that Eddie Coyle set up Scalise and Van and ratted them out, and he didn't do it. That's the worst part. He was going to, but he didn't, because he was just too damn late. So that's the worst part about it. They call up Boyle, and they want Boyle to do this hit because Boyle is a hitter, right? Because Boyle can play the mafia and he can play Foley, and he's looking out for himself. And we have this good, really, really great scene where, like, right at the end of the movie, we the audience have our hand in the drawer, and we know the kick is coming, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's like a hostage situation because we have Eddie going to the bar, and Boyle is just talking to him. He's just talking to him. He's serving him drinks. He's comforting him, saying, oh, that's tough luck, pal. And it's a hostage situation for us, the viewer, and we have our hand in that damn drawer, and it's going to get kicked. It's going to get kicked. And we have a really nice shot. Eddie, he's just looking at his extra set of knuckles. It's like, it's good, it's good, it's good. Boyle drags him away to a Bruins game. They watch some hockey. He's making sure that Eddie is drinking a lot, and he keeps drinking. And then he's got him in the car, on the look for Eddie's car to drop him off. And we know it's going to happen. And then there's the shot. There's not a lot of like on-screen deaths in this movie. I want to say it's just Eddie, and one man in a botched bank robbery earlier. And I believe they killed another hostage, but that was done off screen. So I want to say it's just those two deaths on camera. But this is a really brutal crime movie. And I really like just the parking lot they're in at the very end. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's this style. There's this air with this movie. There's just really good imagery. But that's it. That's just it. And at the end of it, Boyle is talking with Foley. Boyle gave them Scalese. Boyle, obviously, he did it. And Foley doesn't really care too much that Coyle is dead. He doesn't like push Boyle to find out more information about it. He like suspects that Boyle probably had a hand in it, maybe even did it himself, but he's not going to push it because he has a valuable informant here. And it's just like, oh, fuck, man. Damn it. Yeah, will Boyle get out? Can he play the man and Foley? I don't really know. He's done good work for Foley, right? Foley tells him that, but I don't know if that's going to happen or if they're just walking away forever at the end or if it's just for right now you're good, right? Not a lot of like deaths, but emotionally just very, very, very strong. Yeah, this is like one of my new favorite like crime movies. I really love this. I just want to kind of make this short and sweet. I felt like I haven't like reviewed media outside of like books for a while. So I just wanted to do this, and I saw this recently and I'm like, this is really good. So I want to talk about it. Anyways, other recommendations are Hardcore with George C. Scott. That's another crime movie. We have Peter Boyle in it. If you like this and you like Peter Boyle in this, you'll like him in that. He's also just kind of like a slimy, like bad dude in that. I like that quite a bit. And To Live and Die in LA. This is different, but it's also just another like good crime movie. We have some like not great cops in it, and we have some interesting villains with William Dafoe, but that's also pretty decent. I've reviewed both of these, but I'd recommend watching the movies first. Obviously, that's going to be best. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'm going to have another video this weekend. This is going to be another Welcome to the Trough video. I'm going to be reviewing 2 of Jordan Allen's books. I've reviewed them in the past. And a book by Dave Martell. He's the editor-in-chief of the BizArchives. Our hand is in the drawer. That's it. Thanks.